do not trust the science. Why do I say that? Well, as I was perusing my headlines today, I saw a study headline that said a low carb, high fat diet will lower blood pressure. It's like, cool, we knew that. Then about 5 minutes later, I get another headline. Plant-based diet can provide lower blood pressure. Okay, so now I have competing headlines saying the complete opposite. And this is why I say you can't trust the science, because these studies are done in a correlative manner. And I've talked about this before. They go out and they do questionnaires for people to answer about what they've been eating, and most people are not going to be honest about it, so you get data that's flawed. And one of the things that I think is really problematic is there are so many competing dietary guidelines that people are promoting, from physicians all the way down to organizations like the American Diabetes Association, that it's really confusing for people. And so what I try to do on my channel is not necessarily dive into the intricate science of everything, but to give you food for thought and hopefully inspire you to go out and do your own research and come to your own conclusions. And finding the studies that are actually randomized control studies where you can't depend, or you don't depend on people's memories to give you the outcome. It's actually what you have observed and can control. And I don't necessarily think that every person on the planet needs to be on a carnivore diet. But I do think that a carnivore diet, at least for 30 days, is beneficial for everybody. Because what that does is it resets your metabolism and your health. And from that point, now you can begin to add other foods in to see if there is anything that your body doesn't like. And that can lead you to better health and weight loss and be able to control things a little bit better. But this notion that we're supposed to follow the science, and the science can't even agree on what's right and what's wrong, how is anybody ever going to correct weight and metabolic issues? It's just not going to happen. So before you come to this channel and expect to get all these deep dives into this scientific study and that scientific study and why this and why that, you're not going to get that. You're going to get dialogue, opinion, and food for thought to get you to go out and do your own research and figure out what's best for you. Because let's face it, one size doesn't fit all. For me, carnivore works great. It's healed me. It's helped me to lose weight. I've maintained that weight. I lost 48 pounds, got down to 160 pounds, and I'll fluctuate a couple pounds here and there, but I've been steady at that weight for 4 months now. And the pain from the arthritis is all but gone. If I eat off plan for a meal, I can expect that the next day I'm going to feel it. And I know this, and I'm fine with it. I'm not a purist, and I don't agree with any diet that wants people to be these strict purists. It's just not going to happen. And I think even the most dedicated at some point will go off diet for something. And then they beat themselves up because, well, I was weak, I went off plan. That's fine. Just don't do it every single meal, every single day. You're going to wind up right back where you started at. And that's just my opinion. But that's the way I've done things, and it's worked for me. And I've noticed going through my YouTube stats that the majority of people that view my channel, the age group starts at about 45 to 50 years old and then skyrockets from there. And I think what's happening is people get to that age, and after eating a Western diet for 45 or 50 years, their body just can't take it anymore, and that's when things start to break down. And I think that's when people start questioning what am I doing wrong? Because I'm following the guidelines, I'm doing what everybody says I'm supposed to do, and I'm getting worse. And my health is suffering, and I'm overweight. And I think that's at the age where you start to realize that maybe something isn't right here. Maybe I'm not doing or following the right people or the right guidelines to get me to my optimal health and weight. When we're young, we're invincible. Let's face it. I mean, you can give advice to people in their late teens, early 20s, even into their 30s, and it's just in one ear and out the other. And I don't care what the advice is. It could be diet, nutrition, health, finances. It doesn't matter, because they know better. Oh, it's a different generation. You don't know what you talk about. Things have changed, but it really hasn't. Everything's still the same as it was. It's just every generation thinks they've got it figured out better than the previous generation. And by the time you reach 45, 50 years old, you figure out that, well, maybe the previous generation actually was right, and all these things. So, like I said, before you go out here and read this new sensationalized study, you got to really dig into it and figure out where'd they get the data from. What's the supporting data, and how did they get it? If it's correlative, don't even pay attention to it, because there's no solid basis for what that study's revealing. Go back to the ones that have been done, that were controlled, and look at that data and follow what that says, because that's going to be a much better representation of what you should be doing. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.